Good afternoon and thanks for joining us right here on Midday Kentucky. What I have loved this weather these last few days. I know it's cold, people, but it is what it is.
I am not going to agree with you. It's been absolutely miserable.
I do want to tell everyone at home, I went out to the car park, not yesterday, the day before. I was going off to get some dry cleaning and my front tyre was down.
Yes, because of the cold air.
So everyone knows this except me?
No, I did not know this until I went to Colorado. Because I'd been in Florida my entire life, it doesn't really get low enough for your car to say low air tire.
Okay.
So I had to, this is embarrassing, I had to learn how to fill my tires.
Me too.
So I depleted it the first time.
So I go to wherever the guy is, next to my dry cleaner, which is just up the road.
Wait, you went to somebody?
Yes. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little bit embarrassed. I'm sorry. But I went to the dry cleaner and I pulled into the tyre shop, Toweries or something, I think they were called. And I said, look, I'm really sorry. I'm a little embarrassed to have to say this to you. I don't know how or what to do to fill up the tyre and what level it should be. And I said, and he said, don't worry, Troy, we watch your show. I went, thank you.
So they understood. Did you learn how, though?
Darling, it was at 22. It should be 34.
Yeah, that's it. But did you see it's on like the side where your door is, and then figure out? I just did mine.
I pretended I looked.
Troy,
I'll
what's
be
going
going
to happen
back
if you're on a road trip?
I'll just go back to them.
But what if they're not there? What if you're in the middle of West Virginia on your way skiing?
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'll teach you how.
You know what? I think we should have tips for winter wearing your car or winter.
We do on the news.
Yeah, what's it called?
Well, winter.
When you get your car ready for winter?
Yeah, you just get it ready for winter.
I know nothing about cars.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
But I did learn how to do that.
Yes, well, they showed me, but I said, I'll see you.
We should do a segment on you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll teach you.
Oh, no, I don't know. I want to do a segment just on me about it. But I do want to do a segment on this, everyone. There are only a few days left of the 6th annual Bike for the Bluegrass. Now, you know my good mate over at 106.3, Mandy, in the morning, and courtesy Acura on Nicholasville as they raise bikes for the Firefighters Toy Program that benefits underprivileged children in Fayette County. Oh, where did that picture come? That was from last year.
That's a great picture. We love Mandy.
Oh, gosh, I'm good looking. There's
Mandy, you are gorgeous.
Mandy's going to say, you're such a jerk, Troy. They're so close to reaching their goal of 400 bikes, everyone. If you want more information, head over to their Facebook page, okay? Mandy in the Mornings, 106.3. Here's the thing, people. I went out and bought some new bikes. I didn't know that they were also taking, do you call them second-hand or slightly used?
Yeah.
Okay, and the thing is you can just go onto that thing on Facebook called Marketplace.
Good idea.
And you can get a bike for maybe 10 or 20 bucks. I'm just asking you, maybe don't go to Starbucks today or tomorrow. Get onto Marketplace, buy a bike, because I have to say, to give a bike to a kid whose family can't afford one, that kid feels 10 foot tall.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Whether it's a young boy or a young girl, it's that, I don't know what it is about, I don't know what it is, thank you.
Freedom.
What is it about a push bike that gives you this?
Just go.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those, you want all kids
So I don't ask much of our viewers, but that's one thing. Please let me know if you're doing that. I would love for you to send us an image as well. Alrighty, everyone. Yesterday we introduced you to Nickers, the cow, who is nearly 6 foot 4 inches. Yes, it's a steer, not a cow.
And did you see somebody wrote in on Facebook to let us know that a steer is a castrated male bull?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's like a stallion becomes a gelding.
Exactly.
Yeah. There are other incredible animals out there. Amber, you've got to do this because this is too much.
Okay.
Let's take a look at some of the big animals we've got out there. Yeah.
Look at this video. This is an enormous, that's a chicken. It went viral last year. That's like a, I mean, look at its feet.
It's believed to be the biggest chicken in the world.
Yeah.
It's from Kosovo.
It weighs almost 17 pounds. All right, the average weight for this type of children, is about 12 pounds. It's huge. That's humongous.
I think it's a rooster.
Do you?
I don't think it's a chicken.
We can't see its head up close, but maybe it's just.
Yeah. What's the next one?
Big chicken. All right, here's Samson. It's
What is it?
That's a Maine Coon cat.
Oh
Have you ever
my
seen them?
gosh.
They're humongous, but he weighs 28 pounds, 4 feet long. Have you ever seen these cats?
No.
They have the biggest, fluffiest, longest tails, and they're big anyways.
Oh, they're
but
gorgeous.
4 feet long.
Is that the only picture we have of him?
I know. We need to cyber stalk.
Yeah, I know. What's the next?
All right, now this one. That's a rabbit. That's Darius. He's also measuring 4 feet long, and his owner paid about $6,400 a year just to pay
For the
his
food.
food. What
Are
is
you
he eating?
kidding me?
Organic from Whole Foods?
I was going to say, what is he eating? Bloody gold-plated carrots?
Seriously. They put some steroids in.
All right.
That's humongous.
What's this stingray you,
All right,
you sent in?
this is a stingray. Jeff Corwin examined him for his show. 14 feet long, nearly 8 feet wide. He's huge. I mean, they must have taken off the stinging.
Well, I was going to
mechanism
say,
on his
because
tail.
stingrays can kill you.
Yeah.
That's how Steve Irwin died, that Australian wildlife guide. Now, you've got one more.
Well, you just led right into this because now we have Lolong, the crocodile. Where's Lolong? It was believed to be the longest of its kind in capacity. We're waiting for that.
21 feet?
21 feet.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well,
we have it?
so we're not going to do any more big animals, Dee. We're done. All right?
We don't have
we
the crocodile.
Oh, we must have lost it.
But
I'm
that's okay.
so sorry, everyone.
Just imagine. That's
81
a big
How
croc.
long? 21 feet?
21 feet.
How long would that be?
Lay down and we'll measure. How tall are you?
the riser is 10 feet.
That's huge.
This is 10 feet.
Yeah.
So this would be double.
Double.
That's a bloody big alligator.
Crocodile.
Oh, crocodile. See you later, alligator. In a while.
I was waiting for
yeah,
that one.
see? You know I love that song.
Always.
Alrighty, everyone. A first grade teacher was criticised for having her students recite a Bible verse daily. When the video of the children was first released, she received backlash, but now she is receiving support. Teachers are reaching out to her saying she did something they wish they could have done. Others have even created I Stand With Susan t-shirts, and the superintendent of the school released a statement saying, "We support the right of students to express themselves. We support our employees' free speech and free exercise rights as well, while being mindful of their on-duty responsibilities." People who don't support the teachers say they have nothing against religion, they just don't think it belongs in the classroom. Now, religion experts say the teacher violated a 1963 Supreme Court ruling which made Bible reading and prayer in public schools unconstitutional. Number one, can I just say, Amber, I'm not an American. I didn't realise that was a law. I didn't know that you couldn't do that
In public schools.
But even when I went to public school in Australia, I swear I had religion as a class.
I did not. I've gone to public school and Catholic school, and obviously in Catholic school,
Well, we did
religion was in
in
there.
Catholic
but
boys'
in public
boarding
school,
yes.
the only reason we talked about religion would be in any kind of history or humanities classes.
Really?
Yeah, it was never.
So is this a shock to you that she was doing this in class?
Can I be honest?
yeah.
It's Texas, so no.
Okay.
And I mean, we've had so many debates over this so many times over, even just with the Pledge of Allegiance, because God, the word God, is in the Pledge of Allegiance, and a lot of parents do not want their kids having to say that. Now, do I feel like this is right or not? Is that, I know that's what you're going to ask
No,
next. Okay, good.
no, you know what? I just don't get. I understand that people have issues, but here's the thing, make up your mind.
Make up your mind
You
as far as
either
what?
going to have religion in school, you're either going to have sex education in school. Like, these topics keep coming up. You know, I've been doing these morning shows for many years, and this conversation continues to happen.
Well, it's
and
constantly
it's
in the
like,
news.
well, do you want your children to understand the ways of our Lord or other religions? See, I think you should have many conversations about religion. I find it fascinating.
Sure, and that's what happens in, say, humanities classes,
Right.
which when you're older, they talk about the religions, but it's not just Christianity. We're talking about all the different religions.
Yeah, 'cause
We're
she's reading
explaining
from
the
the Bible.
specifics of it.
Yeah.
She's having these kindergartners actually say prayers
Yeah.
verses.
I understand
and
that
so
then.
that's a
Yeah.
little different. And I mean, again, if you use it as an educational tool, I'm all for educating. Ignorance is the worst thing out there, but there's probably students in there who are not Christian, and that's okay. That's totally okay. Should they be forced to have to say Christian verses?
Well, that leads us straight into the second question, a second conversation we want to have. Tell us what you think about that one first, because then on our Facebook page, read about this. You can no longer use religious beliefs to excuse your children from being vaccinated. That's what a school in Cleveland, Ohio says, after measles outbreaks in New York and chickenpox outbreak in North Carolina. Experts say the pattern with both is parents saying their kids shouldn't be vaccinated for religious reasons, and they say there's no credible source to back it up. Well, so the Hebrew Academy of Cleveland sent a letter home, I should say, with their students stating this. You want to read that, Amber?
Sure. The only excuse they will accept is there is a medical reason why a student shouldn't be vaccinated, and those are very, very rare. You talk about something in the news. This is major controversy. And the thing is, it's dictated by states, I believe. States can choose what is allowable and what's not. And most states do allow religious reasons to be exempt at their own discretion. And this is only for public schools. Private schools, again, can do their own thing. This is a private school we're talking about. And then the other is medical reasons. There's very few medical reasons, as we just read, that say that a vaccination is exactly harmful to that child. There are cases, but they're very, very rare. Now, I looked up data from the CDC, the Centers for Disease Controls. People across the nation, it's declining that people are choosing not to get vaccinations. However, in 11 states, and Ohio is one of those states, religious reasons is becoming a bigger phenomenon. People are using that.
I know, and I was going to say, do you think they thought, I'm going to use this excuse now just so I don't have to?
Absolutely.
But I actually, look, we're not parents, so I don't know enough about what the vaccinations could or could not do. I don't know enough because I haven't never needed to look into it. But I also think you have a responsibility to worry about the rest of the students at the school. But as I said, I'm not a parent, so I shouldn't really have a voice in that argument. But all I know is these things are on the rise again. Look, we had the doctor in just recently talking about the polio-like.
Oh, that's in the news almost every day.
And that is now expanding from, I think he was on, 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And it's rising.
And we just did a story last week that more cases have been
found. And I think about it, I worry that we want to be as free as possible and not worry about the circumstances from not doing it. I just think
measles is so highly contagious as well, and it's preventable with this vaccine. Now, is it something, it can be fatal, it can end up killing, it's uncomfortable, we can prevent this. Why would we do it?
I understand, I hear you.
I mean, again, without an opinion, medically, most doctors have said that there aren't that many medical reasons that a vaccination is going to
Well, maybe you might know more about it. Tell us what you think on our Facebook page. All right, everyone. A person recently opened up in an article, and it's making people ask, is divorce something is divorce sometimes the right thing? The writer explains that her parents were together until her father passed away from cancer, but she wonders if this was such a good thing. Throughout her childhood, her parents would have constantly fight, and she got to the point where she was so scared to bring anyone home, her parents asked her who she would like to live with if they divorced, and she even said she didn't want them to separate, but deep down, she wished they actually did. So is divorce a good thing or right thing? There's a difference.
This is tough. I mean, again, we are not
I wish my
parents.
parents got divorced moons ago.
Do you feel like...
I think my mother probably would have stopped drinking as much as she was.
Did they stay together for your sake?
No, they didn't stay together for our sake. My mother would never have allowed a divorce, being Catholic. But they ended up living on the same property. We had farming land, so she lived in one house and he lived in another. For 20 years they were separated. They would never divorce. But I wish I wish that had happened earlier. I probably wouldn't have insisted on going to boarding school. Do you know what I mean?
To get away.
I just had to get out of the house. I couldn't stand it.
Was it such a toxic environment?
Well, it was more
with the
so
fighting?
her. Do you know what I mean? Because
you were worried about her well-being.
I didn't care. She was just so angry.
Sure.
Angry. And so my father would get in the car and go out to one of our other farms and just wouldn't come home. Do you know what I mean? So it just became worse and worse.
Sure. And the author of this story writes, at the end, father ended up being diagnosed with cancer, which he ultimately died from, and they became closer during that experience. But she said she was so bitter watching her mother become so bitter, like you said, at what was going on during the marriage, that she has become bitter and carried that on, but she understands that her parents were doing it with her own intentions.
Of course, but in the meantime, they didn't realize the effect that it had on her growing up. We never had kids. We never had friends over. Do you know what I mean?
Because of that.
Well, we just never knew what mood my mother was going to be in.
But it's
wasn't
so
my
tough.
father.
I
Do you
mean,
know
you
what I mean?
can't put, I don't think, the blame on either one, because they're trying to do what's best. What is best? Like you said, what is best and what is right?
Well, I think, you know, if it's just broken and you've tried everything, as in marriage counselling or seeing your pastor or what works for you, you should try that. But if it's still not working, you need to. It's not meant to be, and it's not good for the kids.
I think what we've learned from all of our stories out there, raising kids is the toughest job out there. Props to all the parents, because
that's why we're single and don't have kids, people, and we're tossing up whether to get a dog or not. You know,
but then,
and that's tough work.
Well, but I like what we're leading right into.
Weddings. Okay, everyone. Coming up, we have the winners of the Ultimate Big Blue Wedding Giveaway. They've won a wedding worth over $30,000. It's huge.
Super
See you in a
exciting.
minute.